In my pursuit to rid eBay of its e-waste and turn it all into retro gaming consoles, I came across this little 12-inch tablet laptop type thing. This is a Lenovo MIIX 510, and I think it was released back in 2017 when there was a bit of a craze in ultrabooks. It was a competitor to the Surface Pro 4 and had similar specs and bears an uncanny resemblance. These devices can now be had on eBay for quite a low price. I managed to get this one for £28, which is around about $35. This one comes with a Core i5 processor, an i5-6200U, although it didn't come with a hard disk or a keyboard, unfortunately. The keyboards can be found separately pretty easily on eBay. I picked up a keyboard for £22.95. That's around about $28.50, so it's not that much more to pick up the keyboard. You can also plug in a USB keyboard, and the device does support Bluetooth, so you could use a Bluetooth keyboard too. But if you want the whole set of what this machine would have originally been with a keyboard, then yeah, they are available still. The device does seem to be in pretty good condition considering its age and the price I paid for it. Like I said though, it didn't come with a hard drive, so I'm going to need to open this up and put in a new hard drive. Also, I'm going to change its thermal paste and just give it a bit of a clean generally. Now that I've got it open, you can see it's in pretty good nick. I didn't have to disconnect the screen. I managed to kind of stick some paper underneath it. The issue with this is that this didn't come with a hard drive, but I did open this previously before filming this video, and I put in a hard drive which is underneath the heat pipe, and you can see it's sort of covered by black there. The issue is that was the wrong kind of hard drive. That was a SATA drive, and actually I needed an NVMe drive, so I did pick one up off Amazon, which was the same size, which is 256 gig. So I'm actually reopening this again, and you'll see when I get this off that there is thermal paste. So I've already replaced the thermal paste, which is a bit annoying. I expected the hard drive to work, but yeah, I should have realised it was an NVMe drive rather than a SATA drive. But it doesn't matter. I've basically managed to get a hard drive in it, and hopefully that should work now. Now this is where the fun and games begin with this laptop. First, I tried doing a recovery using the Lenovo software, which you can download from their website. So the idea of this was that I was going to restore it to what it originally came with, and we'll be able to use Windows and see how it would have looked out of the box from the shop or whatever. And you know, the idea might be that we could install RetroBat and put all the emulators on that way. So we kind of had the best of both worlds. You'd have Windows 10 and also Retro Bat. And I was in for a bit of fun with this. Near to the end of the process, I was greeted with this screen. Basically, the recovery had failed, said it was an abnormal device. You had to contact the preloader owner. Looking on Reddit and other places, this happens to quite a few people, and there doesn't seem to be anything you can do about it. As the recovery software didn't work, I thought, well, I might as well have a go at just trying to install Windows 10 normally. So I did that. I basically cleared off all the partitions from the recovery process and just started again and used Windows 10, and that all worked pretty well. It all installed normally, but when I came to use the device, I found that the touchpad, the keyboard, the touchscreen, all that stuff was not working. So I went to Lenovo, to the website where you can download the drivers for all these things. I basically went through the process of installing these drivers, and again, it didn't work. So basically, I was left not being able to use the keyboard, the touchpad, or the touchscreen. And you kind of imagine one of those things would work, but none of them worked. And again, on Reddit and other places, it did seem to suggest on forums and what have you that this is quite a common issue with these, that you know, at some point the drivers just seem to stop working for Windows 10. Likewise, Windows 11. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. So you're kind of left with a machine that, you know, isn't really what it's supposed to be. It's not really anymore a laptop because you can't plug the keyboard into it and then use its keyboard, because it just seems to be some mad non-standard keyboard. I mean, it comes up as like a PS2 keyboard. And then, you know, the drivers just doesn't work for it. There's no real support. I think there was even one person saying that they'd never buy Lenovo again. But not to fear, this isn't really that big a deal for what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to run Batocera on it, I think, and hopefully that will just work. Now, before everybody screams at me in the comments, why didn't you try Linux? I did. I tried installing Ubuntu, or at least running up the live version of Ubuntu without installing it, and same result. There was no touchscreen. The touchpad didn't work, the keyboard didn't work. I had to rely on external mouse, external keyboard, as I did with Windows. So really, unless somebody can figure out how to get the drivers working, you're kind of left with something that you're just going to be able to run Batocera on, I think. Now, trusty Batocera did run, which I'm running off an external SSD, and it all booted up fine. As you can see, we've got a Intel Core i5 with 2 cores, and yeah, Batocera is running from this. You could install this on the internal hard drive. I might leave Windows on there just for a moment, just to see if anybody comes up with any ideas on fixing the drivers, because it would be nice to have the best of both worlds still, but yeah, I can't get it to run Windows with everything working, unfortunately. But yeah, let's take a look at Batocera, and let's see how this thing handles some retro games, because yeah, hopefully something will work and we'll get something out of this device.
Hey, come here.
Thanks. Take me to the tabletop.
Okay, hang on.
Move it.
Yeah, I got it. Perfect days.
Didn't expect to get
Just
here
too
so
good.
fast.
So, in conclusion, Batocera runs pretty well. Most of those games were upscaled. I think only the Wii U and the PS2 were running at native resolution. Others were upscaled maybe 2 or 4 times. But it is a shame that I couldn't get the touchpad and the keyboard and the touchscreen to work. So if anyone in the comments knows how to get that working, that would be great if you could maybe give some advice on that. I did scour everywhere trying to get it to work. Anyway, hopefully that video was useful for you if you're thinking of picking up one of these sort of mad hybrid devices. If you like that, if you could give me a like, that'd be great. If you could subscribe to the channel, that really helps me out. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you again in the next video with another piece of junk.